Hello and welcome as I set my camera. Welcome to the new time of Create With Me, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I do hope this is better. It works better for me as I'm still doing some things during the day, like supply teaching and all of that. So let's take a few minutes to say hi to everybody. And I was thinking of doing something really old school. I'm going to tilt my camera at me so you can see me at the beginning. And then I'm going to do the bird's eye view. So let's give that a try. So hello. I'm a little messy, but that's okay. I know because not everybody, I don't get behind the camera that often, but that's changing. So how are you doing? All right, I'm going to turn this way just to see who's on. We have Sally. Hello, Sally. And we have, just say hi in the chat and let me know with a thumbs up or a yes if this time is better. And we're going to do a more interactive session, and I'll let you know about that in a minute when I switch my camera. But remember last week we did, before I get into that, I always rush into what I want to do. And that's just me. So this is the studio behind me. My wall for my new course is coming together as I'm just preparing lessons and getting it all in order. And hello from Mexico. Wow, that is so cool. Yes, let's see. We have 5 on tonight so far, and that's okay. We're just going to build. This is what I do anyway. And how has everybody's creative week gone? Mine has been really busy, not so much. New Mexico. All right. Thank you for that correction. That's good. That's good. Yes. So, getting new things. I had a new order come in of art supplies. I'm just exploring different, how we like to do that. We probably have too much art supplies, but I just needed these brushes, and I'm going to show you those in a minute, and a few other things. So what is our interactive session going to be like? Well, I want you to be more involved in the decision making, so you get to just practice just being in the unknown or the uncertainty. Yes, very busy. This time of year is really busy because of fall and school and so many things in our lives. So we can only try our best to squeeze in our art, though it's really important that we do that. I am guilty of not really doing my daily art journaling, which, if you followed my 100 days of 10-minute art, I did it 100 days in a row, and I still blows my mind that I did that. And I can't wait for the next 100-day project. But I thought, well, why do I need a 100-day project? We should be doing this daily when we can, 10 minutes. And it's incredible what I got out of it. All right. Hello, Sally. That's okay. We'll just do our best. So if you haven't, or if you have, I know I mention this all the time, but it needs to be mentioned because it is a free 5-day course. And if any of you have been on my website, it's going through some changes for the better. And also being on the Create With Me subscription, signing up, because you're getting free resources, the schedule, and you just know ahead of time about what we're going to be doing. So with that said, I think, does anyone have any questions or any wants with that, what they'd like to do for this evening's session? What we're doing is using last week's multi-layered collage papers. Remember, I called them gestural papers. And that's what I'm going to do. I left one intact. I'm going to show you how I tear it up. There's different ways to tear it up. And then we're going to just use it as the focal point and go from there. I do not have a plan, but what I love are these art prompts. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, Letters from the Studio, you get these art prompts and some more. You also get access to my resource library. I'm going to be changing that in the future. And you're just in the know as to when my waiting list opens for my new course, my first signature course. So I can't wait. I can't wait. Oh, wow. I'm going to take a few minutes to say hi. Hello, Sally. Santa Rosa. I'm in Ontario, Canada. And the fall is coming really quickly, unfortunately. It's beautiful, but you can really feel it changing. You can see the wildlife knowing what to do, and they're adjusting. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my camera face down, and we are going to talk about and get going with our lesson. All right, let's just do that. There we are. That wasn't bad, I must say, for getting in front of the camera. It's old school, but I love old school. And I know a lot of you ladies, a lot of my subscribers are of that generation, and I consider us really one of the best generations. What about you? Thank you very much. I've been working hard at my work, but trying to focus on the feeling, trying to focus on my inner voice, my inner rhythm. What does that look like? What does that feel like? So I'm pushing myself to try different things, but when you do find something that really works, repetition is key, because through that you go deeper, hanging on to, staying with the pattern. If you got my last letter from the studio, that's what that was all about. And I have a new blog out, though my website, I'm just taking through some changes and I'm really loving where it's going. It's about leaving space and, your inner quiet, which allows us to go deeper and to find our authentic, creative voice. Okay, so I'm going to start. That's enough talking from me. I'm going to show you the papers from last week. And I'm going to keep an eye on, we're good. These are two sections of, I made a blue one, a cool one, and a warm one. I really love these. This is collage on collage, marks, many layers. There was at least 7 or so layers on here. Let me just make sure you're seeing that, okay? I think we're going to use these, but you never know, I just might suddenly change my mind. Then we have this big page, and that's what we worked on. And it was just one thing leading, responding to the other. And notice it's not just full of every kind of mark. It's marks that relate to each other, also keeping in mind the quiet space. But when things do get too loud, you can always come in and quiet them down with a layer. So nothing's ever wrong. It's just our energy, our marks. Okay, so I've been really enjoying tearing, but I also like a ruler every once in a while. And I'll show you I'll give you a think aloud as to what I'm thinking when I'm tearing this up. So I really love this section together. I don't know if it'll stay that large for a collage, but I like these. So I'm going to tear this down here, and I might even leave a section of that turquoise. Using a ruler is so fast. It's so much better. And a metal one is nice and sharp. Of course, this is just newsprint, so it tears easily. I really like cropping other shapes. So you get a little piece on one collage and you get a main one on the other. Okay. I'm going to go right down the middle, so I have a little bit of that black and white and the black and white. Okay, so that's what you could be doing. I think I'll go in another direction. Once I get these done and show you how we're tearing, then we're going to get the prompts out, or I'm going to get a suggestion from one of you as to what we should do first. Okay. So I don't want to, I'm going to just do some tearing as well. I'm really liking this warm one for tonight. What about you? Okay, this is your first interactive decision. Do we want to go with the blue collage or do we want to go with the warm? Let me know in the comments. Okay, I'm waiting for some comments. Warm or cool? I'll show you those again. This is the cool, and this is the warm. Which one do we want to use as our main collage piece? Okay. I'm really loving this one. I like this. Or these, one of these. I'm going with this. Okay, and I've been saving this little piece, as you can see. So I'm just going to put all these to the side. And I never asked, am I coming in loud and clear? Let me know in the chat with a thumbs up. Okay with either? All right. Okay. This is interesting, quiet. And on this side, I always choose too much collage. So I'm just going to pick a few pieces out now. And it's either a yes or a no. Now this contrasting with the cool might be really nice, but just a smaller piece. This is new paper that I bought. This is calligraphy paper. I got it off Temu. So it's amazing. I have not even used any medium on it yet, with it yet. And this is another very transparent paper. So using lots of papers. Okay. So what I usually do is get some line, some light, medium, and dark, and anything that just strikes me as a yes. No. Okay. Right away, too loud. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move these over here to my left. This is the piece. I don't know how much we will use. So I split it up because they're so interesting. Okay. So I'm going to activate my page with line and various water-soluble crayons over here. And if we get stuck, if none of you have a suggestion, and what I'm doing is just demonstrating how you can use, there's so many ways to use these art prompts. So if you sign up for my email or my newsletter, you get a bunch of resources. And when you sign up for the Create With Me, there's even more different resources. So I'm always trying to give everybody a boost as to help you with your intuitive art journaling practice. Okay, nice. So this is a new brush, and I'm not going to use it right now, but I want to use it next. So I just love the point and the thickness and the variety of widths that you can get. I've got some ink, which is acrylic ink. I've got my graphite and charcoal here. I'm going to start with those. Black and white, turquoise, black and white, and yellow oxide. That's it. That's all we're going to use today. Okay, let's see. I think I will start with, where did you go? Okay, we'll just use this one. This is water-soluble graphite, and I like to dip it. And what I've been doing lately is really slowing down with my mark making and really just focusing and letting the tool lead the way. And that's how I can expand my mark making repertoire. Okay. This is another water-soluble graphite stick. It's a little harder, so the lines are lighter and thinner. And a lot of the times I'm still experimenting as to all the things it can do. This is a piece of charcoal, not water soluble, of course. I'm going to show you why I'm doing this in a moment. So now, those are water soluble, and now I want to seal them. So I'm going to use a matte medium, and I'm going to just pour it directly on the page. And I'm going to just skim over. There's going to be smudging, but we like the smudging. And look what it does. It darkens those marks, seals them, so that now the mark will be there. And when we put the layer on top, they'll be permanent. I really like that, how that charcoal made those interesting texture. Okay. This is just sort of lifting off the excess. And I will use my dryer just very briefly. Okay, not bad. Okay, now I'm going to come in with the water-soluble crayons. And I'm using blue because that's the collage. This is the main. I want it to be mostly blue with a little bit of yellow ochre and black and white. Okay. This is the ochre. On top of the charcoal is very interesting. I love it. Okay. So now I'm just going to make it like a glaze since it's water soluble, and just a little bit. It softens it and it creates a glaze or a wash. And see how it increases the saturation here? Beautiful on top of the charcoal, which is now protected because of the matte medium. Okay, and now you see, so everything, when you're using a simple palette, it's so easy. Everything's cohesive. Oh, yes. Mind, water-soluble graphite makes the most interesting marks. And when you mix it with different mediums, and then see how it's not smudging under there? So you can learn how to play with those criteria, what it does. I don't know if criteria is the right word, but you know what I mean. Now, I want to come in with a slightly different blue, but still a warmer blue. More intense. Okay. And I think I want to do the same thing. Ooh, wow. I love that. So say it's too intense, you're not sure. This is where you can use newsprint. I use a newsprint dabber and I keep putting layers on it. And you can get really interesting collage that way. Okay, so I'm going to keep those there. I don't know if I'll end up using this one, but I know I'll use this one for sure. So now I want to just come in with some paint. I'm not wanting these days, I want to at least mix it a little bit. Now I'm going to end up mixing it right on the page. And I'm finding that I love work that is rectilinear, which is mostly squares or mostly rectangles in an all-over composition. And I love that because you can really do a lot of things. So that's some excess paint. I want to save that. And I think I'm going to use my smaller color shaper here. And I want to mix this with some unbleached titanium. Yes, any mark that you use and you put underneath, you put a medium over it, and when you use the color shaper, it doesn't interfere with it as much as a brush would. It would scrub the marks. A color shaper glides over it, and then once it's sealed, it's sealed. So you could even smudge your marks more, and then it sort of stops them the way you want them. It's very cool. Now I notice I said I was going to use these, but I will in a moment. Now, yes. Okay. I want some white. And then when you veil, this is what I call veiling. You push back. Veil isn't a complete cover. It's just making it softer. You see how the color shaper, say if I wanted to warm that up a bit. So now it's totally opaque. I thought, oh, okay, well, I want those to show a little. You just scrape it off. And then you can have some opacity. So now you're playing with the contrast or the differences of opacity and translucency. And I like to echo those marks again. Since it's thick, it's going to create a physical texture, not just a visual texture. Okay, all right. Now, so just a smudge. Now, should I use the art prompts? Say I'm stuck, but I'm not, because I just keep on going. Let's say I am. And I don't know, I just stuck them in here. I took some out that were pretty abstract. There's art tool prompts, there's abstract concept prompts. The prompts are pretty cool. Here we go. Oh, parallel. So there's that thing. Well, what's parallel? Well, parallel anything. Parallel is side by side going along. Well, right away, what comes to my mind are two lines. So I'm going to use this brush. I'm going to use black. Isn't that a great brush? Parallel doesn't mean side by side, just parallel. Okay. Anyone want to suggest what we could do next? Or should I pick another prompt? Aren't prompts fun? Sally? Yes, let's do another prompt. So let's just have some fun here. I love the prompts too. Oh. Veil something. Okay, so cover something. Okay, do we need to use white? No. Could you use collage? Yes. Let's use black. I know that when I use black, it really drives a lot of you crazy, but it's so cool. Okay, I'm going to cover up. Cover that. Now, that also created a shape. Let's see if I can go in. And just break that up. Okay. Let's pick another one. one mark. All right, let's do one mark. Let's use this brush, the real skinny one, and let's use white. Let's go like that. We'll do one more prompt before I want to get to the collage. Let's do this big one. Ha! One big collage torn. Okay, that's exactly what I wanted to do. Isn't this serendipitous? Okay. Now, I could cover. I love now, notice when I go this way, it's horizontal. So now it's added and altered or accentuated the composition to a horizontal composition. I don't want to cover up all of my I think it's not in the middle. I could cover up those lines. That's sort of bugging me. To me, this is still too representational. So maybe I will go vertical or change it somehow. And I don't have to use the whole piece. Possibly. But this seems to be working better. Right there. Okay. Okay, I'm just keeping an eye on my time in case you saw me look at my watch. I usually don't wear a watch when I'm creating. I probably should, but there we go. I love those lines. So we'll stay here, right there. Okay, so now we have something here. And I don't know if I like it. So there's no rule. I made the mark. Remember, there's no rules. I want to extend this past half. I don't know if that'll stay black. I might come in with blue. Or a piece of collage. Oh, things get messy here. So now I'm not going to use the prompts. Now I want to just free flow here. There we go. See how that transparency? You can see the yellow underneath it. Just have to rub that away. There. So let's, yep. And I wanted to try one of these and one of these. And I think maybe a piece of that. No. Maybe. Okay, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm just going to do this. This is the first time I've used this paper. So very translucent. Now, I know probably because that ink or that paint didn't dry yet is why it's smudged. So you just keep these little things in mind in your future pages. Okay. So I'm going to use overlapping. That's another cool thing to do. Overlapping your shapes, your lines. So you're not really covering, you're just pushing it back. But you see how you still see all the layers. And when I have excess, I usually just move that around. Color shaper can just take it off and removes all the bubbles. Okay. Now, I think I need a stencil. This is one of my new stencils that I just got. So I like to use a makeup sponge. So I'm going to use black. And I'm just going to put it in this area. So, nice size. So I'm just going to dry that. I like that up there. Just want to see what that would look like before I do. I just want to put some line under there. Now this is the thick. Let's see. I'm going to take off the excess with the color shaper. Oh yes. So that is a very good, this is a calligraphy paper. It's sort of like rice paper. I ordered that on Temu. They have some extraordinary different papers at really affordable prices. And this one has been calling out right there. I think blue. Or, yes. See how this is a little quieter? I don't want to cover that beautiful smudge. I'm just going to scale it down a bit. See, I'm turning it every which way, just trying to get the, I don't know. Yes. Okay. Okay, so this piece, yes, it needs to go. That's okay. It's not a bad location. And if it's too quiet or too solid, you can always come in with some more stencil or a couple of marks. For instance, I might do this. That might be too busy, and that's okay too. Because after it's dry, go, well, I'm not sure about that. I don't want to cover those beautiful colors, but I might want to do this. Just take it down. Probably should have waited till it dried. Okay, that is nothing what I wanted to do. Let's see if it'll peel off. Oh, look at that. So let's put it somewhere else. Beauty. Right there. Why not? No, it doesn't go there either. It's okay. We'll sit it over here and let it dry and use it in another collage. Okay. I think I'm almost done. What do you think? I just needed these marks. Probably too busy right now, but then after it dries, you can just come in, not with blue, with a yellow ochre, and just cover it, rub it away. Okay. So there's two smudges. They're sort of vying for attention. And those are the kinds of things that stand out. But I think I will leave this collage where it is right now. And yes, you can develop some rich textures very easily with using the combination of multi-layered collage pieces, stencils, layers of marks, and translucent and transparent papers. But notice everything that I used, except for the commercial stencil, which is really a contrast, is a mark that I made. So it's really in my voice. I used these the way I understood them and still using my marks. So it's an interesting piece, an interesting looking. I'm always intrigued, even though, notice I'm just, the grungier and the smudgier lately seems to be really there. Now notice, see that contrast is very high. So it's really your eye is sort of staying there. So you can just come in and lift. And what I'm going to do while we finish up, yes, my collage papers are going to blow everywhere, is my gold pen. And sometimes I only put it in one area. And that just pushes things back. Okay, so with that, we will stop and let things dry. I hope everyone enjoyed this slightly more interactive Create With Me session. Yes, Sally Parker. Changing the energy is where all the feeling comes from, and that is your mark making. That is your mark making is the foundation of that. Yes, I let mine rest for a while too. And then, when you're breezing by or, you're busy in your day, something might catch your eye and you go, ooh, that was a good idea. I think I want to put that piece of collage or that mark there. And then just keeping in mind, not being careful, but keeping in mind, you don't want to overcrowd it. See how there's open space here? Now there's that piece of black. That was probably a mistake. So I'm just going to do this. Now, see that? It's a different blue. I love it. And I might even come in. Where is my... Even on my table, I lose things. It's crazy. Oh, there it is. Just breaking it up. Notice that quieted down that area a lot more. It's so subtle. So I hope you carry this on with you. Take what you've observed tonight, try some things yourself, and get those art prompts. And they're so much fun. And you only need to use a few, or even pre-select like 5 or so. It's like, oh no, I'm not really. And it's all about your feeling. And you can just work on those. And repetition is key. Staying with the pattern, staying with your marks that keep showing up and taking them as far as you can is another important thing to remember. And I think that's it. So if you haven't yet, please hit the like button. And if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe. The links are in. I hope I put them in. Yes, I did. If not, I will check right after this video. If they're not in this one won't come up. YouTube takes time for it to process, and then it'll bring this up. And then I have the choice to edit out anything, but I don't. It's really fun. I like to be authentic. That's the whole thing here. And try the 5-day free course. It's on my website. It's in every video that I have on my channel. It's also up on the channel links. Letters from the studio and the Create With Me live session. So thank you. Thank you so much for showing up and taking the time to watch me or demonstrate this intuitive art journaling process, which I absolutely love. And I will see you next Tuesday at 8 o'clock. Sign up so you know what we're going to be doing. As of this second, I have some ideas, but I end up choosing as I get closer to the session. So happy creating, and I will see you in the next video.